My giant Slav father never became a violent alcoholic. He was too busy making ribs. Today, we celebrate this. You want to get 2 racks of ribs. I got these from Costco. It's very affordable and, oh my God, it's 3 racks of ribs. Surprise! Okay, 3 racks of ribs here. One is quite thin, so it doesn't make that much of a difference, but we'll adapt. Anyways, you see the bones? So you want to cut in between the bones, like right down the middle where the meat is. And then that way you'll be able to marinate them efficiently and effectively. You could just marinate it all together and throw it in the fire and cook it in one piece, but I find the marinade gets into the meat a lot better if you cut it up first. You really don't want to cut them like this down on the cutting board because you don't know where the bone is. Even if you turn it this way, it's just gonna, the bone tends to curve. So you really do want to keep it up, put the fatter side down, and then you just go, you let the bone guide your knife, really. It's just way easier. Watch your fingers because pork and human is very similar. I sometimes get asked, how can you eat something so cute? I tell them with my teeth and a ripping motion. The cutting of the meat has been completed. Let's go over the ingredients. Because we have 3 racks of ribs now, I'll have to change up the proportions slightly, but luckily Slavs are like cockroaches. We can adapt to anything, like 70 years of communism. Now, we'll start with the salt. I use a large grain salt like this, and the salt is to taste. A lot of it is to taste. It's not an exact science. What are you doing over there? You need to make something. Okay. You're going to be layering the ribs and putting layers of ingredients on top of layers of ribs. So a lot of it is going to be common sense and eyeballing. Other than that, I'll give you a rough estimate of how much we're going to need of everything so that you can have it ready for the layering. Okay, so salt, we're going to need whole peppercorns and whole coriander seed. You'll grind these up in a mortar, or if you have a food processor or a blender, just grind it up on the spot because if it's fresh, it'll taste better. Then we have red chili flakes to taste. Again, if you like spicy, add more. If you don't add it at all. We have 1 onion, large onion. You're going to be cutting it up pretty big because when you cook the ribs, you don't want the onion burning. This is 1 bunch of fresh coriander. So I've just chopped it up with the stems pretty roughly. For the acid, we have 3 lemons. These come out to almost 1 cup of lemon juice. This is how I juice the lemon. I just use a fork. You don't need any special gadgets for this. Try to get ripe lemons, otherwise it's going to be a bit bitter and it will be harder to juice. You might need 4, but I like using the fresh lemon juice because it's not as harsh as something like apple cider vinegar or regular vinegar. What else? 1 head of garlic. And for the oil, I use sunflower oil because Slav powers, but you can use something like olive or avocado. Oh, and pro tip, if you're trying to keep kosher, don't make this meal. Time to dress and stack the ribs. Although I gave you the proportions of ingredients, this is kind of a common sense process. You want to have everything ready, but you might need less, you might need more, and it's a judge as you go recipe. So I've done 1 layer in here, and let's go through the second layer. Make a layer of ribs, okay? Don't leave any gaps. Okay, so I do salt. my crushed spices. So that's the coriander and the black peppercorns, a little bit of red pepper flakes. Then I do my fresh coriander and my chopped up onion. And don't forget the garlic. Probably will need more garlic. So see, gotta adjust. Then you do your liquids, a little oil, and the lemon juice. Keep in mind, you're gonna marinate this in the fridge for at least one night, overnight, and everything will medley together, especially if you flip the container upside down halfway through the process. If you do that, make sure you have a good lock and seal lid. But yeah, kind of looks like this. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. This is a great recipe for camping, for barbecues. My dad always made a huge batch and brought it camping. And the nice thing is, because it's marinated, it doesn't need to be refrigerated all the time. You can like keep it just marinated for a couple hours without refrigeration while you're making your fire. And you know, you won't eat it the first night you're camping really, but it's like not that hazardous because of all the acid and spices. Almost done. Need a man. Yes. Okay. I am so happy that 3 racks of ribs fit into this one container. This is 23 cups or 5.4 liters or 184 ounces. Very pleased. I got this container at H-E-B. I'm sure you can find the same one. So stick that in the fridge and don't forget to rotate it. Because you might not be hosting for 8 people, I will post in my description the ingredient list as it would pertain to 1 rack of ribs instead of 3. It's been 24 hours. The ribs are marinated and I can't wait to cook them. Let's take them out of the fridge. So I rotated them 4 times and they should be perfect. I have a large cooking tray like this. Put some more sunflower oil on here. Open up your ribs. And of course, you should have already put your oven on at 350. We're gonna cook it for at least 30 minutes at 350, and then we're gonna broil from the top on 400 just to give it that crisp. Ideally, you wanna cook these on an open fire. You lay them down on like a mesh, and you don't let them burn. You cook it on hot coals. You don't cook it on an actual open fire. Now, I'm not giving you an exact cooking time because I've been blessed with knowing exactly when meat is cooked to perfection. A lot of Westerners will ask me, like, how do you know that the meat is done? Well, many Slav mothers are actually born with a gene that allows us to sense minute temperature changes in different types of meat. And we get this tingle right on, well, I get mine on the right side of my spine. And that's when I know, time to take the ribs out. So you don't want to crowd them because you want them to be able to crisp up and cook nicely and evenly. Also, do not overcook your pork. Everyone is in so much hysteria about pork. First of all, it's been marinated overnight. So there's no bacteria on them. Like the acid kills that. Secondly, overcooked pork tastes like shit. So do not overcook it. They'll lose their tenderness, and that is unacceptable. We've only used 2 layers of the actual marinated pork. And you could probably cook these, like if you have a bunch of trays, you can cook them all at the same time, but you're not gonna be able to crisp them up as well because the broil just comes from the top. So I suggest doing them in batches. Okay, let's shove this pork in the oven. And I will take it out when I feel that sensation on the right side of my spine, and we will have a look at what it's supposed to look like when it's perfectly cooked. But isn't pork fatty, and doesn't fat make you fat? Asks the bread addict. Well, when I was pregnant, I only gained 7 pounds. 6.5 was my child, and the other half was the fluid and placenta. What did I eat? I ate cured pork belly every day. It's called sala. It's a Russian traditional dish, and it often consists of just the pork fat. Does pork fat make you fat? The ribs are ready. Kitty cat protection. Watch your face because the oven is very hot. Woo! Okay, let me change the camera. I'll show you what this looks like. Beautiful. Ready to eat, cooked to perfection. I'm ready for ribs. I have my little froggy plate, and I think I'll go for this one. Look how nice that looks. Yum. These ribs have actually become a bit of a meme in my family and circle of friends. My dad would make them anytime we'd have a barbecue and anytime we go camping. And I have many pictures of my friends devour, like close-up pictures of them devouring these ribs. I have pictures of my son eating them. It just makes me so happy. They are so hot right now. I'm gonna be back in 5 minutes. Okay, it's ready for me. Perfect. That's what a perfect rib looks like. All day, man. Eat this all day. I wouldn't change a thing about this recipe. I got it down to a T. Thank you, Father. You're the best. This is like a good 5 minutes of pure joy for me. Can't wait to serve it to my guests and my boys. Look at the garlic. I included some bigger pieces of garlic. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, so good. You know you did well when you're willing to eat for the pervert on camera. One time I was at a party and my buddy was just staring at me while I ate a piece of grilled chicken. And he was just like, I don't know, Julia. Something about you eating a piece of meat. It's mesmerizing. Done. I'll probably go with this for a while, but bye.